Now, of course, we mentioned earlier US payrolls report revealing a bit of a slowdown there, but we wanted to give you even more insight into the jobs data. And a brand new report from IBM is highlighting some of the challenges for the economy in the road ahead. That is, 120 million workers may need to be reskilled or retrained in the next 3 years. Meanwhile, half of the businesses will have no skill development strategy in place. Joining us now with more is Amy Wright, she's managing partner at IBM, Talent and Transformation. This was a global study. What was it, 5,000 executives, 48 countries or so.
That's exactly right.
Talk to us about some of the more interesting findings and what companies need right here, right now.
Great. So first, thanks for having me. What our study showed was three really interesting findings. The first one being that CEOs rank as their #1 investment area for achieving performance acceleration as people. That's their #1 important investment area. And at the same time as that, 41% of those CEOs say that they don't have the right skills or capabilities to achieve their business strategy. So that's...
Can we stay on that for a moment here? Because the skills that we've heard people need are these hard science skills, STEM skills. Is that no longer the case anymore?
So that's the second big finding out of the study.
I led you right there.
Perfect, which is that the skills with the largest gaps right now, according to the executives we interviewed, are the softer skills, behavioral skills, skills like adaptability, flexibility, prioritization, time management, working in teams. Yet only just 2 years ago, the STEM skills, the technology skills, software development were at the top of the list. So this doesn't mean that those aren't important. It just means that there's a shift now in a gap in these behavioral skills.
And so how do you fill those gaps? I can, to a certain extent, upskilling someone in technical ability, it's going to be hard, it's going to take some time, but you can actually see perhaps you teach that. How do you teach someone the prioritization of time? How do you teach someone flexible working?
Yeah, so perfect question. One of the other facets of the study that leads to that is actually there's a reduction in the half-life of the relevancy of skills. So that means we all need to be reskilled more frequently. And at the same time as there's a reduction in the half-life of skills, the amount of time it takes to develop a new skill has gone from 3 months to 36 months. So we need to be reskilled more frequently, but it takes longer to do it using the mechanisms that companies are currently using, which is still the more traditional education. So your point on what do we do about it is that if you think about these behavioral skills, they really are founded in ways of working. So an entire enterprise needs to change their culture to have pop-up teams that operate across functional boundaries, and agile ways of working, team mentoring, and doing things a very different way, as well as leveraging an ecosystem. So no longer do you need to depend on just your own, inside your own four walls for learning, but use really creative ways of working with others in your own industry to learn. So working differently. Second of all, personalization. So just like you expect to have a personalized experience in your consumer world, employees are expecting that personalized experience in their work life.
So we can get apps or something?
Well, so personalization would say we all have different skills, and for us to get from our current skill to the skill that we need to get to, your journey is a different journey than my journey, which is a different journey than yours. And so personalization, so these same skills that we needed, AI, that have kind of turned things on it now, are the same ones we're going to use to achieve personalization.
How much are companies spending to do this? Because I can see the case being made for this, yet in terms of resources, most companies just want the employees to learn on the job. Are these things that they can pick up while just being placed in that situation, or do they actually need to be taken out of their daily role and put in a room and going through these training modules?
So it can happen both ways, but what we're really talking about to make a big impact is to do this with your employees. So transparency is a big part of this. Sharing with employees the most important skills for the future are these, and you have to take the initiative to drive to get these skills, and we're going to change our culture so that we're all going to do this together. You can't depend on just an employee to on their own figure out a way to change their skills if your ways of working haven't shifted.
So how's IBM doing it? I mean, how much are you spending?
Well, we spend a lot, but it's not on tactical programs. It's on a transformation of the entire corporation to achieve our strategic objectives. They go hand in hand. But we are doing big things like we have the largest skills badging program in the world, where we help employees show them, here are the skills we need for the future, and then we set up mechanisms so that they can learn the skills and they get badges for them.
All right, so soft skills, the ability to be flexible, agile, and adaptable to change. That's what's in demand right now. IBM Talent and Transformation Managing Partner, Amy Wright, thank you so much.
Thank you.